Continue our series on what it means to be a servant of God. Right. So this morning we'll be talking about what kind of servant are you? Are you the kind of servant who does whatever he wants? That doesn't make you a servant, does it? Servant has rules that they follow. Are you the servant who pick and choose what he wants to do? Yeah, that doesn't work. Or are you the kind of servant who obeys the Father, even if it costs you your life? I have to die? Yeah. I have to lose everything? Yeah. Because remember, Jesus said, he will try to keep his life, will lose it. Let that sink in. You can't keep your life. It's not even yours. You ever try keeping something that's not yours? He's been going to a store and walking out without paying for something. That's called stealing. Your life belongs to God. Give it back. So this morning we're going to be in Matthew chapter 25, verse 14 to 30. We're talking about the talents, the 10 talents. Talents. So the aim is to come to the understanding this morning that God has a very particular way he intends for all those making the claim of being a Christian to be a servant through his actions so that we or they can be counted amongst the sheep and not the goat. We want to be counted amongst the sheep, not the goat. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the goat, but the goat gets punishment on Judgment Day. So let's keep that in mind. Sheer laziness has probably been responsible for more shortcuts to mention, and even valuable inventions than we care to admit. Most of us continually on the lookout, or at least subconsciously, for an easier way to perform our routine tasks. Remember back in the days when you could stay out all day as a child and just play outside and get dirty and muddy. The only time to come inside was the street lights. The street light goes off, you go inside. Now they have a device that can emulate outside while you're inside. How does that work? Let's go play baseball now. Let's play baseball in the house. It's almost the same. That's what they say. It's just like reality. No, it's not. It's virtual reality. Nothing is better than the actual thing. An example of imagination spurred by outright lethargy is containing the story of an old mountaineer and his wife who were sitting in front of a fireplace one evening just whiling away the time. After a long silence, the wife said, "Jed, I think it's raining. Get up and go outside and see." The old mountaineer continued to gaze into the fire for a second. He sighed and said, "Oh, Mom, why don't we just call the dog inside and see if it's wet?" How many of us are currently coasting by, where we do the bare minimum but want the greatest reward? Our work ethic does not always match up with what we think we deserve. Many of us have amazing God-given talents that we are abusing, wasting, or worse, using for our own selfish needs instead of that will of the Father. Like it say in 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 10, as each one has received a special gift, employ it in serving one another as good steward of the manifold grace of God. As each one received a special gift from God, employ it by serving others. Here it is again. It's not about you, right? Many of us are just too selfish to use the special gift in service for others. Many of us are just too lazy to use our gift in service to one another. See, later on we'll find out what Jesus called laziness. Trust me, it's not pretty. Many of us have adopted the backward way of thinking. Remember Isaiah chapter 6, verse 8? Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, "Whom shall I send, and who will go for us?" Then I said, "Here I am, send me." But this time, "Here I am, send Carrie." He's from Alabama. He looks ready. Here I am, try Earl. Earl's good for it, right? Earl's prepared. But surprisingly, for us here, it's here I am, St. Paul or St. Jack instead. Jack, how you doing? Jack looks prepared. Or St. Shirley, or St. Cecilia. Why do we do that? That's when we talk about the importance of being both ready and prepared. The reason why we do that is we're ready, but we're not prepared. That's why you can say, no, I think I did a good job. Are you ready to go? No. But you know who's ready to go? Ray's ready to go. You should send Ray. As a servant, we need to be both ready and prepared for things. When we continue to misuse and the selfishness of our special talent or gift for our own selfish gain, we must also be ready and prepared for the consequence that comes with that choice. Boy, wait a minute, there's consequence? But no, here's a funny thing. We love to throw this phrase around. Well, I have freedom of speech. Do you? Do you understand what that means? You can say whatever you want to say. But you also got to be what? Prepared for the consequence that comes with it. Right? That's it. But I think we get it twisted and warped. We think because I have freedom of speech, there's no consequence. That's not true. There's consequence to everything that you do. Well, I don't want to wear a mask. Well, then deal with the people talking to you about wearing a mask. Well, I don't think it's real. Okay, then deal with people telling you that it's real. Well, I don't like the news. Well, then don't watch the news. But it's a consequence to everything that we do, and we need to understand that. So to understand that, let's turn to our text this morning in Matthew chapter 25, verse 14 to 30. That's Matthew 25, verse 14 to 30. And it reads, "For it is like the man about to go on a journey, who calls his own slave and he trusts his possession to them. To one slave, he gives 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1, each according to his own ability. That went and he went on his journey." Here's a cool thing I love about that, right? He gives each according to his ability. Think about that. God does not give you more than your ability. Let that sink in. If you have it, it's to use it for him. You would not give Earl the same talent as you give David. You would not give Jack the same talent as you give John. Use it, because each was given according to your ability. So that also means that he will not give you what? More than your ability. Immediately, the one who had received the 5 talents went and traded with them, and gained 5 more talents. The same manner, the one who had received the 2 talents gained 2 more. But he who received the 1 talent went away and dug a hole in the ground and hid his master money. Now, after a long time, the master of those slaves came and settled accounts with them. The one who had received the 5 talents came up and brought 5 more talents, saying, "Master, you entrusted 5 talents to me. See, I have gained 5 more. His master said to him, "Well done, good and faithful slave. You were faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Enter into the joy of your master." Also, the one who had received the 2 talents came and said, "Master, you entrusted 2 talents to me, so I have gained 2 more talents." The master said to him, "Well done, good and faithful slave. You were faithful with few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Enter into the joy of your master." Now, here comes Mr. 1. And the one also who had received the 1 talent came up and said, "Master, I knew you were to be a hard man, reaping where you did not sow and gathering where you scattered no seed. Take that in for a second. He said, Master, I know you. So you know. Because if you knew me, and you knew the kind of man that I am, you'd have done something with my money so I could get something back in return. So does he know him? No. And a lot of us make the claim to know God, but we don't know God, do we? He said, if you love me, you will keep my commandments. In 1 John, he said, if you know me, you will keep my commandments. So what does that mean if I cannot keep his commandments? I don't know him, and I don't love him. So he starts out right away by saying, don't say anything, Master. I know you. You like to reap what you didn't sow. So guess what I did? I was afraid and went away and hid your talents in the ground. See, you have what is yours. But his master answered him and said to him, you wicked, lazy slave. You knew that I reap where I did not sow and gather where I scattered no seed. Then you ought to have put my money in the bank, and on my arrival, I would have received my money back with what? Interest. So you couldn't even do the bare minimum. Therefore, take away the talents from him and give it to the one who has 10 talents. Here is the kicker. For everyone who has more, more shall be given, and he will have an abundance. But from the one who does not have, even what he does shall be taken away. Throw out the worthless slave into the outer darkness. In that place where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Sounds like a nice vacation spot, doesn't it? Weeping and the gnashing of the teeth, that's extra. It's a tragic story for one and a beautiful blessed story for two. First off, a single talent was worth 20 years of work. Therefore, one fellow was given 100 years labor of work of money to deal with. Another was given 40 and another 20. The man given the one talent was not given an insignificant amount. Imagine you go to your job. First day on the job, you calculated your whole year payment and handed it to you. Say, here you go. Do what you wish with this. Be happy, wouldn't you? Well, wouldn't you? He was given 20 years labor worth of money so that he had a lot to invest. What were the talent represented? Many times people read the parable and think automatically money. The talent represents money. Not wrong. You think about it like that, you're not wrong. But the practical application of talent were opportunities to be service to God and opportunity of one's ability, because these talents were given according to one's ability. One fellow had the ability to deal with 100 years worth of money. Another had the ability to deal with 40 years worth of money, and another 20 years worth. Each one was given only what he had the ability to use. So there was no mistake, was there? Each was given according to his ability. You can't say, well, yeah. No. You were given according to your ability. God gives us opportunity according to the ability that he has given us. At the end of the story, there were only two counts, the faithful count and the unfaithful count. There was a diligent count and a lazy count. Notice that the faithful and diligent two, the 5 talent and the 2 talent, each received exactly word for word the same commendation or reward from their master. Hear that? Whether Earl got 10 talent and Ray got 5, what happened in the end? They both received the same amount of reward. The same reward, right? They didn't say, all right, Earl, you did really well. I got a 5-bedroom mansion for you. Ray, I mean, you did your best. We got a 3-bedroom for you. No, everyone who does the work of God receives the same reward, right? were told, well done. They were told that they were good and faithful servants. They were told to rule over many things and enjoy the happiness of their master. When you do the work of God, God is pleased, and your reward is the presence of God. Man, can you imagine that? Being in the presence of God, that's your reward. Doesn't matter if you did 5 or you did 2. The important thing is what? You did something. It did not matter that one had gained 5 and the other had gained 2. The 2-talent person was not expected to gain 5. And the 5-talent would not have been faithful if he only gained 2. That's what he said. Each was given according to his ability. They had used their ability. Doesn't it remind me of? People tell me this all the time. As a minister, you know what? When I win the lottery, I'm going to take care of you. You know what I tell them? What are you doing with the little God is blessing you with now? Right? Because he gives you according to your abilities. The fact that you're waiting for more lets me know you're not using what he's giving you yet. You're still waiting for what? Nothing coming. He's blessing you according to your ability. You just wait till I win that lottery. That's the funny part. God gives you an assurance, and you turn it into just in case. You have the ability to do what you have to do, but you say, I'm going to take some chances. You have assurance, and you say, chances. Assurance, chances. And what did you pick? Chances. They used their opportunity and they brought their return to God. See, we want to meet God having benefited him and his cause and not our own selfish want and desire. Now, notice the unfaithful servant who was condemned. Remember what he said? Master, don't speak. I know you. He was condemned with the word wicked. Normally, when a person is thought to be wicked, then there is some evil thing he has done. What had this person done? He had done nothing when he had the opportunity to what? Do something. That's us. I'll get to it tomorrow. Last time I checked, tomorrow was promised to you. How would you get to something that wasn't? Next time around, when I see, I'll do it. So you're going to put the Lord's work on hold and take care of yourself. How's that working out for you? It's like miserable. He had done nothing. He was wicked because he had been given the opportunity to serve, and he hadn't done so. He didn't lack the opportunity to serve. He just chose not to. It's a difference. The opportunity was given. When you know to do good, have the opportunity to do good, and don't do it, then that, my friend, is what James calls sin. That is as surely murder and stealing are wickedness. Doing nothing when something needs to be done is also wickedness. We laughed this morning. Well, I laughed when I said we put the pro in procrastination. Haven't we? Got graduate degrees in that. He was called lazy. And he was lazy because what? He was idle. He was thrown out from his master's house. He would no longer enjoy fellowship in the master's house. And the 1 talent he had hidden in the soil was given to the man who had 10. Did you catch that? Not only did he lose what he didn't have, or what little he had, but he also lost the privilege to be in the presence of the master. Let that sink in. Man, I have nothing to lose. Oh, you do. What little you have, you can lose. Right? When you neglect the Father and his will. Why did this happen? Why was he no longer in fellowship with the masters? He had proven you would not use his opportunity. Isn't that amazing? God gave them according to his ability. What did he say? I don't want to work. I want to be lazy. I want to be wicked. Instead of helping others, I'd rather help myself. Hold on there, God. I know God. God understands my heart. God understands your heart. He's deceitful above all things. He's desperately sick and wicked. Right? So he understands that. That's why he gave you according to your. He didn't give you more, right? He said each was given according to his ability. Oh boy, I have no excuse. Why didn't you do it? I didn't know how to do it. That's not how it works. Because God gave according to your ability. He didn't give according to God's ability, right? That's not the problem. He gave according to your ability. The talent in the story were money, but the talent in applications are opportunities. And it's sad because many of us miss the opportunity to be servants of God. We choose to be servants of the world, servants to ourselves, selfish, wicked, lazy. We do it tomorrow. I laugh a little bit inside. Tomorrow? Tomorrow is promised to you. It wasn't promised to me. Right? Tomorrow was promised to no one. Your next breath is not guaranteed. Let that sink in. We must use our opportunity for God. So, what did we learn this morning? We learned that women will continue to send men no matter what. Poor Jed. But what did we learn? Well, there are 4 lessons to learn from these parables, right? Each servant was given capital, and nobody was without an opportunity. So not only does God give you the ability, but he also makes the opportunity available for you to use that ability. It is only you who said, nah, I don't want to do it. It is only you who said, nah, I'll do it tomorrow. It is only you who get to decide. Because you have free will. Because you have free will, there's consequence that comes with you not doing what you're being asked to do. Number 2, each servant was given capital according to his ability. Whatever opportunity one has to render service to God, he already has the ability to do it. Again, God does not give you more than your ability. The excuse you make is because you don't want to do it. It's not because you're not capable of doing it. Because he said what? I give according to what? Your ability. How do I know you can do it? I created you to do this. Number 3, from this parable of the talent is learned that one must work while he waits. The parable of the 5 virgins said that we must be prepared even as we wait. The parable of the talent says that we must work with the opportunity that he gives us. You know what it eliminates when he says you must work with the opportunity that is given you? It eliminates you using it for your own selfish wants. He gives so you can bless others, not you. And he wants you to use it when? Now, as each opportunity presents itself. How do we know the opportunity presents itself? Because he's going to make the opportunity available to you. Why? Because you have the ability. You have the ability to to do the work. How do we know this? Because the work was created beforehand for you. Why? So you may walk in it. Isn't that amazing? He created the work beforehand. You don't have to throw dice. What does God want me to do? Right? It's already there. He already has a purpose for you. The work was created for you to walk into it. How hard it is to walk into your work? It's not. The reason why it's hard is because you want to use it for something else. This morning we're talking about how they want to use the law for salvation. The law was never meant for salvation. David was conversating right afterwards. He said, isn't it funny how they try to take out certain things out of the Bible just to make it suit them? And I was like, yeah. And they think that's a Bible. That's not a Bible. That's a buffet table. A little bit of that, some of this, all the vegetables. You need all of it, Jack. Broccoli. We need all of it, whether we like it or not. The word of God is sharp, right? It is sharp. It is able to cut both ways. I'm cutting. Won't get to where I am. No, you're not. Every day, what are you supposed to do? Die to yourself. Every day. Why? Because if you was enough, there'll be no need for Christ. Think about that. That's what you're told to die to yourself on a daily basis. Because what? We're sinful people, selfish. So when the opportunity presents itself, you're supposed to be available for it. How do you be available for it? Many are ready, but not everybody is prepared, are they? Many are ready, but not all is prepared. How do I be prepared? Well, I be prepared by stepping into the work that was created for me. And I don't make excuses and say I will do it later. Because later was what? Not promised to you. Feel like a fleeting vapor. Let that sink in. Vapor. But you say wait till tomorrow. See, the main lesson learned is that it is wicked to be lazy. It is wicked to be idle. Let that sink in. Christianity is an action sport. It's an action lifestyle, right? Well, not a religion, or a lifestyle. He came to show you what? How to live like Christ. Not to live like the world. Think about it. The world is broken. It's always changing. That's where you're trying to fit in. Good luck with that. God is consistent. He has never changed. And he's not going to change for this generation. So what we have to do, we have to be the servant and work with the ability he has given us. See, the world will be evangelized, and this world will be the toll of Jesus Christ. Many or most in this world will be won to Jesus by one talent men and women who are using that one talent they've got. So all you need is one talent. Maybe some of us got 3. That's okay. John, you got 2? Maybe you got 2. John is here with the finance and technical stuff. So he's putting all to work. Maybe he has 2 talents. Jack's a Yankee fan, so he's having a hard time right now. We'll get back to Jack later. But we all have talents that was given according to what? Our ability, not our wants, right? But our abilities. And these people who have one talent were led by Paul. How many talents did Paul have? Paul never missed an opportunity to do the Lord's work, did he? So we have to be the same. An army of one talent people won the world for Jesus Christ in the first century. And they will do it again in this century and the century to come, as long as centuries are what? Being counted. Now, if you're here this morning and you are ready to join the family of believers or to be part of the one talent army, we ask you to come down and be baptized and added to the body, where you can walk into the good work that was created for you beforehand. We ask that you both be both ready and prepared so that you may not miss any opportunity that presents itself as you stand this morning to sing our song of invitation.